Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum and good day to all of you. I am Muhammad Ashraf Azmi, um, one of the author for this paper, and the other author is Surya Fadila Matfauzi and Azniza Ahmad Zaini. Both of them are the senior lecturer at University Technology Mara, and I am a PhD student at University Kelantan, Malaysia. The title of our paper is Online Shopping During MCO, What Consumers Should Know in Dealing with Seller on Social Media. So, online shopping basically provides an alternative platform to do shopping where the consumer does not have to leave his or her home. And this is also an excellent alternative for both consumers and sellers, especially during the movement control order, as to lessen the exposure to the COVID-19 cases. Whereas, as for seller, the online platform is a perfect avenue to save on expenses such as rental premises or paying employees' salary. So the objectives of this study are the first one is to examine the current issues on online shopping through social media such as Facebook and Instagram, and also second to deliberate on the information that consumers need to know in order to protect their legal rights with references to selected legislations pertaining to the online purchase. So the framework of this paper is basically we relied on the provisions of law in Malaysia, right? And the methodology is we use the qualitative method where um, it is carried out based on the primary and secondary sources such as statutes, a journal, and also website. And then these data were then analyzed using the content legal analysis in order to try to solve the legal problem that arises. Um, all right, so now is the finding. So in Malaysia, basically, Malaysia has enacted several statutes and also regulation to regulate and govern the online business transaction. And among them are Electronic Commerce Act 2006, Digital Signature Act 1997, Personal Data Protection Act 2010, Consumer Protection Act 1999, Consumer Protection Electronic Trade Transaction Regulations 2012, Sale of Goods Act 1957, and Communication and Multimedia Act 1998. So the first issues or the thing that the consumers should know is with regards to mm, the terms and the fine print displayed by the online small business traders are sometimes unclear and vague, which may lead to misunderstanding. Yeah? And with regards to this, right, the law, which is the Consumer Protection Electronic Trade Transaction Regulation 2012, imposes an obligation upon the online traders to display information about its product or services offered by them. It also provides that the trader or seller must disclose certain pertinent information such as the full price of the goods or services, which includes taxes and transportation. All right, so this is basically the rights of the consumers. All right, and when we are talking about rights, that means when this is a right for the consumer, that means it is a duty on the seller or traders. Yeah. All right. So next is with regards to rectification of error prior to confirmation of order. So the online traders must allow the consumer to rectify any errors prior to the communication of the order made by him. And this is provided under a Regulation for Consumer Protection Electronic Trade Transaction Regulation 2012. So that means if um, we, book an order and then we want to change, maybe something is wrong, the address is wrong, the phone number is wrong, whatever. So you as a consumer have the right to amend or rectify the errors, right? And if the dispute arises between the parties, sellers and also the buyer, then the records or relevant documents must be made available to expedite the process of mediation. So this is the duty imposes on the seller, that if this thing goes to, for example, consumers tribunal, right? So the seller is obligated to provide the record and other relevant documents to settle the case faster. All right. Next is the web page displayed on the online traders, Facebook or Instagram, amounts to a mere invitation to trade and not an offer for sale. And this is based on the case of Pharmaceutical Society of Great Britain. Yeah? So whatever that you see on the web page, right, displayed there, you cannot treat it, okay, that is an offer and now you want to purchase it and that is your accepted, and then you say that there's already contract between you. No, yeah. We as a consumer, we need to know that whatever displayed there is only an invitation to trade. Yeah. However, yeah, what do you mean by when we say that this is only an invitation to trade? That means it allows the trader to refuse sorry, to sell the product if, for instance, the price is mistakenly marked cheaper than the original price. However, there are circumstances where an advertisement may constitute as an offer, especially if there are descriptive words which bind the contracting parties and sufficient certainty as to the terms. Yeah. So not everything that is being displayed as an offer is an offer. Sometimes it can be an offer, but most of it is only invitation to trade. So you as a consumer cannot demand for the seller to sell the goods to you with the whatever price. All right. So that is the thing that you need to know. All right, number 4 is the consumer is open to be manipulated by the online traders in matter of price. Yeah. So with regards to price, the consumers actually are entitled for a reasonable price of goods, and this is being provided under the Price Control and Anti-Profiteering Act 2011. Yeah. So if the seller or traders, online traders, sells you goods with unreasonable price, that is your right. You can complain and bring the matter to the consumer tribunal. All right. And next is with regards to consumer would normally rely on the description of products as displayed and written on the website of the trader. And also the consumer also put a trust on the online traders to provide for a quality product. And with regards to the goods that you receive is actually the same with whatever the description on the web page. This is actually being governed under the Act of Sale of Goods Act 1957 and Consumer Protection Act 1999. Yeah. So with this regard, these two acts basically gives and protects you with regards to the description and also the quality of the product. Yeah. Next is the goods is found defective upon delivery. So when it comes to defective goods, right, Section 37 of Consumer Protection Act protects you and imposes obligation on the seller that the seller must take reasonable action to repair or provide spare parts for the goods. Yeah, that is your right. And lastly is regards to where the seller fails to include a clause for a refund or replacement. Yeah. It doesn't matter because Section 46 of Consumer Protection Act 1999, it gives the consumer the rights to reject the goods delivered by the seller if the goods received is not in a satisfactory satisfactorily conditioned. Yeah. So the consumer is entitled to have a refund of money or receive the goods of a similar type. The seller cannot ask you to accept another goods. No, cannot. Yeah. All right. So with that, online shopping is expected to grow and becomes mainstream and experience rapid development due to the recent COVID-19 outbreak. And although we have various legislation enacted by the government to protect the interests of the customers or the consumers, but if the consumers are not well informed, obtaining their legal rights, and do not equip themselves with necessary information, well, the effort of the government is to no avail. Yeah? And so the consumer must be proactive in pursuing the accurate information pertaining to their legal rights, especially the right to receive fair judgment. With that, I thank you for your time.